At dawn, we'll travel to Zodin's sanctuary. Now, pass me some of that meat.
Deathstalker!
Hey, I'm Laurie, formerly of Doodad, and I'm here with Zach and Corey, podcasting After Dark.
Guys, this is the culmination of a whole month long of Deathstalker content on Podcasting After Dark, $2 late fee, me and Corey. We got Laurie Field here with us. She plays Doodad in the movie. You're going to hear the whole story about like the makeup process, what it was like to wear this giant costume and deal with like how hard it was to shoot in the rain or whatever. You're going to hear it all.
And almost being crushed by Paul Lazenby.
That's the part that gets a little interesting in this interview. So definitely listen or watch this interview. Hit the subscribe button, the like button, all that good stuff. And enjoy Corey and I with Doodad, Laurie Field.
Did I do that?
Yeah, you did. And you did great. Let's go.
Welcome to our exclusive interview series for Podcasting After Dark with your hosts, Corey Stevenson and Zach Schaefer. Tonight's interview is with the star of Stephen Kostanski's Deathstalker, actress Laurie Field.
All right, so this is the penultimate? No, the ultimate, the culmination. Yeah, the culmination of Deathstalker month, all month long on $2 late fee and Podcasting After Dark. It's been Corey and I with Stephen Kostanski, Blitz Berlin, and we already had Paul Lazenby the previous month on as well, but now we've got Laurie Field, aka Doodad, on our show. Welcome to our shows, Laurie.
Thank you.
Did I do that?
Did I do that? Yeah.
If y'all aren't watching this on our YouTube channels, and if you are, hit the subscribe button, by the way, you got to go to our YouTube channels because Laurie has the makeup of Doodad. So she was the physical embodiment of Doodad in Deathstalker. Oh, so rad. So rad.
It was amazing. And Doodad was my first actual character. And, you know, it's interesting to see how it's going to progress, but I didn't realize that you like totally become that little character and that little wizard and everything. It was just like, you care about everything. And then even when they were going to like do the voiceover, I'm like, but he knows he has to do this, right? And he knows.
You were giving Patton Oswalt direction on how to deliver the lines.
Well, because it was like, yeah, because you do it and you live that little character, right? So it's hard to give up.
So what you have behind you is a bust of Doodad. And like Zach said, if you're listening to this on the audio feeds, then go check out the YouTube page because Laurie does have a facial bust of Doodad. Did Steve sculpt that? Did Steve Kostanski sculpt that?
Yeah. It's this is actual mask that I wore.
Oh, okay.
In the movie. He so I went and prepped with him, did the whole face head casting thing. They took, because like it literally just goes right on top of my head, as people see if they do the video. And then he made about 5 of them because you're not sure what's going to happen during the film, or and it's got to fit so perfectly. But we managed to save a lot of them.
How's the facial, the head casting process? Don't they have to wrap like your whole head? You have to breathe through like not like straws and whatnot?
Actually, Steve is like awesome at that. It is a process, and if you're like the least bit claustrophobic, or if you don't like to be confined, it's not going to be for you. I'm usually good with everything except like bloodsuckers and lakes. But anyways, I'm good with everything. And but even me, he's like, "Do you want this music? Do you want that?" I'm like, "Yeah, no, just go." And his shop is fantastic. Like I went into the workshop and they were crafting other creatures, so I was able to watch and doing it. And then they layer it on like the plot. I don't know all the different terminology and I don't know all the different layers, but
Yeah.
They do the first and then it has to dry so long, and then they do the second and then it has to dry so long. Like I swear there were 5 things, and I'm like, it's getting heavier and heavier and then it starts to dry. And yeah, it was pretty good. And then you got to wait there. But he didn't do straws or anything. Like he like I said, they're so good, they know what they're doing. Even my ears, like, because I don't know if you can see, but it's like right over your ears.
Yeah.
He was just able to do it. They did it so well. It was a process, but it was okay.
Well, yeah, take us like, by the way, if anyone's ever seen the movie, I believe it's Neon Maniacs, the face of Doodad is very reminiscent of this very kind of cult, bizarre 80s movie. And I love the nose and everything. And I'm looking at the image, the mask of Doodad next to you, Laurie, and I'm thinking, my God, that feels like it's just hugging your face. It's just, so probably pretty tight, right?
It is. It's lightweight, but they crafted it so fine in detail. And I don't know if you ever like stop and look. It came down my eyelids.
Yeah.
It was up my lips. So they do glue, the whatever that prosthetic glue is, to hold it there and hold it around your eyes so it doesn't move. And then because it was minimal makeup, like just the eyelids basically, because I needed to be able to move my eyes.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
a little bit in the lips as I opened my mouth, but because they actually wrapped right up. But it was comfortable. I kind of got used to it. It would be funny, like when we were on, in between shoots or whatever. I use a mobility scooter for distances, so I'd be like scooting around the parking lot or whatever, totally forgetting that I'm wearing this like little mask on as I'm doing it. But the only thing is, and I don't know if you can tell, because the brow and the nose come out so much, totally threw off my depth perception.
Right.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
Can't see it. And then I couldn't eat for the first while. Like I was just doing straws, because even to like try to feed yourself is like, where's your lips? Like, you can't see any of that, right? Because everything's blocked off.
It's really amazing. Like if you all think about the what that entails, like putting a mask on at home for like beauty care, whatever, that's one thing, but have this prosthetic on your face for a long shoot's got to be really challenging. And also now being in 2026 with HD, 4K, whatever, like being able to see every little nook and cranny of makeup. You look at Star Wars and you go, oh my gosh, I could see the paint fading on that stormtrooper's head, That was 1970. That was the 1970s. You look at something now and you're like, well, if I see an imperfection, I'm going to call it out. And you don't in Deathstalker. Like it looks so good. Like, honestly, you said if we see like we could literally see how like pressed that made the prosthetic was on your face. It's fantastic. I'm wondering if you could take us into how you got cast as Doodad in the first place. How'd that all come to be?
Well, I've done, as you probably see, I've only done a little bit of work. I came to this late, like within the last couple of years. They were filming, I'm in Northern Ontario, and they were filming some background stuff. And I'm like, decided, you know what, I'll try it out, because you literally do not see people with disabilities in movies or anything like that, right?
Right.
So I'm like, I'll try it out. And I kind of liked it. And so I did a couple more background roles, and then I was expanding more. And I did the short film as an ant. Which I'm an ant, so it was totally all right. And just did my work and did some courses and training and stuff like that. And they were looking for a little person, basically. Okay. So I put myself out there. I was like Canada wide, and got through the first round, and then spoke to Steve on. We did a Zoom meeting, and couple of scenes kind of thing, and he'd say, well, try it this way or whatever. And and basically that's how I got it. So.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah. It's like American Idol. No, you got to go through the process.
Yeah.
We've all been there. So my question is that when you, as for the audition process, when you're auditioning as Doodad, did you have lines to run with, or was it more about physical characteristics?
No, it's all lines. For this, like the whole shoot, did the whole movie. Like
Oh,
I voiced every line, did it all. So you stole us from Prince Halgan?
Well, stall is a bit strong. He was already dead. Well, on his way out at least.
Meaning?
He was coughing a bit, but it was definitely a death rattle, I'm sure of it.
Sounds like he was alive to me.
Hey, I didn't rescue you to get a lecture on the ethics of the spoils of war. Now you keep it up and I throw you back in there with those serpents.
Actually, Daniel really liked that because even when I wasn't on set, he's like, "I want Laurie to read her lines because we got a chemistry going, right? So
yeah.
you
Yeah,
act
it's great
differently
chemistry.
with different people. So yeah, it's totally how I read the lines and how I moved with the lines and that sort of stuff. And yeah, that's what we did, and that's what I said. Like afterward, it's like because I'm reading the lines and I'm thinking it this way and thinking it that way. And then it's like, okay, well, he's got to know when I mean, I never met Patton to do that sort of stuff. But in my mind, I'm thinking, all right, I hope he picks up this because I'm like, I was doing that at that point, or, it's, yeah, it was really interesting for that part of it.
Did Patton, did he pick up on the subtleties that you were trying to convey? Or were you happy with it?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I enjoyed it. It's funny because I tend not to watch myself for performing or stuff like that because I'm in choir. I used to compete on horseback, like in equestrian events, and I'm such a perfectionist that I nitpick everything.
Hmm.
So I would always like tell my coaches or whatever, just tell me what I did wrong so I can work on it. So when we were doing the premiere, I attended the premiere down in Austin, Texas, and I was like, oh, I'm not sure how I'm going to be, but it was actually kind of good because I'm like, it wasn't my voice, so I couldn't nitpick it as much.
Right. Right.
I there were still some few acting things where I went, oh, I should have maybe done that a little bit differently, but on the whole most part, it was like I was able to sit back and enjoy the movie more than if I would have heard my voice, because then I would have been like, okay, yeah, I should have done that. Should have done that. Yeah.
I think we all feel the same way. Sometimes I hate editing our episodes, just because I'm like, oh, I'm nitpicking myself too much. But you mentioned, Daniel Bernhardt wanted you there, even when he was reading his lines. Doodad and Deathstalker had such great chemistry on set. When was the first time you met him? Was it a part of the auditioning process? Did you have to see for the chemistry, or did you meet him on set for the first time?
No, basically, I met him on set for the first time. So it was good that it worked out so well. And I didn't even really like, except for because the first day I came on, they'd already been filming for 3 days.
Okay.
I think it was like the horse scene and stuff like that, where it was just basically Daniel and in the tavern. And then, so then I came on and we did the mask because they weren't sure how long, like when you watch the movie and the little clip of me doing the makeup, that was at the end. And thank God Christina, younger generation, records everything. She's like, let's record you getting done. But like that was at the end. So we had it down pat. Like after a month of doing that, you know exactly what you're doing, right? But for at the beginning it took longer and you had to fit and the gluing and where it should go and that sort of stuff. So I was in early and then I sat for a couple hours. And let me tell you, that was the hardest part. Sitting in mass, never experienced it before, and just sitting in your trailer because we were out in the bush doing that. So and it was raining. So I'm all by myself and I'm sitting there going, what did I get myself into? the mask for the first time. And then I was so scared about doing anything that would ruin Jason. Like Jason's the one that prepares me in that, like ruining his work or stuff like that. Because again, it was all new to me. And then immediately, so I'm like freaking out about that a little bit. And then it's like, all right, you're on, and we just started the scene right away. And like, oh, hi, Daniel. Hi, Christina. Actually, Christina was there too. It was the first time we'd all met, and yeah,
So he meets you as Doodad and not as Laurie Field.
yeah, exactly.
Wow. That, and Laurie actually gave us some amazing photos, and you'll see the video in this too of the makeup process. And that'll be playing throughout this interview. If you're listening to this, again, go to our YouTube or Spotify video to watch this. It's really fascinating to think about. I'm picturing you sitting in this trailer, having like this up down moment of like freaking out, calm, because especially with rain.
Mhm.
And if you've never done this before, like, oh my God, I hope I don't blow this, right? There's that
Yeah.
pressure there. And then you come
Yeah.
out and you're like, oh shit, here we go. I'm in it. Wow, that is what a myriad of emotions you must have gone through that whole
Oh, yeah.
process.
It was pretty interesting, and even so, you're doing that. The costume it's like the first time you're wearing a costume, and oh my God, beautiful costume work that Chelsea did.
Amazing.
But in the rain, wool just gets heavier
Yeah.
and heavier
My God.
because it's a wool cloak, silk line, but it's still wool, leather belt, all his little accoutrements that he's for his magic, and and it's starting to get heavier and heavier, and we did it, and then heading back because again, I don't know if you'll show the picture or not, but
Yeah.
we had bikes to go out to the set because for me, with all the deep mud and stuff, it was a little bit deep. Well, then the bike gets stuck.
Yeah, of course.
So, and here I'm like, oh, great. This is like literally my first day.
Yeah, my God. I mean, seriously, like, hats off to you in a big way. And also, like, Corey and I both are obviously familiar with filmmaking and the process, but I'm not so familiar with like the voice. I'm a voice actor, but I'm not familiar with the ADR part of it. And I didn't realize you were actually saying the lines through the whole movie. I want to see a director's cut, Stephen, if you're listening. I want to see a director's cut of Laurie's line, doing her lines. We love Patton Oswalt. He's great, wonderful. But I want to hear you doing those lines because that would be amazing, like an outtake or a director's cut or something. There is a brand new 4K Steelbook, I think, that just came out with the original Deathstalker 1 and 2 from the 80s, with your version, obviously. And yeah, like Corey said, your chemistry with Daniel Bernhardt is so good. Everybody. I mean, the images you shared with Paul Lazenby on set, you guys look like you're having a great time. You are.
Oh my God, yeah.
You as Doodad are now in a very select group of sidekick characters in movies that are so integral to the story. I think of Orko from He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, which is perfect timing because the movie just came out,
Yeah.
like you think of like so many characters that are the sidekick to the big buffed hero, right? Without you, there is a lack of heart in the film.
Yeah, all the heart comes from Doodad. So much of the
Totally.
heart comes from Doodad, and so much of the fun comes from Doodad, and that comes from you and everything. It's just we could tell everyone on set was having a great time making this movie, and we've been a fan of Steve's Kostanski's for a while now, all of his films, and I think it just shows. It just comes through.
It was awesome. Like Steve is so good. Even how we shot the film, because like you say, that chemistry just built. Like he did it.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, he meets occasionally, like at the beginning. So when he meets Brisbane, when he meets Doodad, but then how Steve shot it kind of progressed. So we were able to build up that chemistry, and like some of the more emotional scenes, like when Daniel got killed, or
Right.
Deathstalker got supposedly killed, or stuff like that. Like we'd already been through so much. I'm like, I was practically, I was upset that he got killed on me.
Yeah.
So
Did you shoot the movie pretty much in order that the film takes place, essentially?
except for the scenes in the bush or stuff like that, it kind of flowed. How he did it, it did really have a flow. I honestly can't remember exactly, but it just seemed to flow and the momentum built. So
Right.
that's kind of how I felt it. But yeah, And you've seen the ones, well, the pictures with Paul, how huge he is.
Yeah.
I mean, Paul scared us
We were
just
we were
talking to him.
so there's been a few interviews that we've gone into that we were a little nervous. Tom Noonan being one of them, but
Yeah.
Paul Lazenby being another one as well. That we were like, oh boy, turned out to be, of course, the nicest guy
Oh
as
my
we
God,
know, but very
he's so
intimidating.
good, and he does so much, and works so hard for the film. But there was the scene, and I'm just going to mention it because when Deathstalker did get stabbed or die or whatever,
Yeah.
when we were shooting that, like the everything's like I actually watched your interview with Paul, and as he was saying, everything's script, and the stunt guys are there, and they take care of everything so well. But there was a point when they were filming, and Paul was back with Christina, and Christina was trying to fight him, and just how she caught him, and I mean, because Christina's like weighs next to nothing, especially compared to Paul, but just how she caught him, he was kind of thrown off balance, and when you're thrown off balance, you head towards something. Well, he was heading towards me.
Oh God.
And I'm like, I swear, yeah, exactly. I swear time slowed down because
Oh no.
coming for me, and I could see his face, and he was panicked that he was going to hit me, and he's trying everything he could to stop himself, but that downward momentum. And in my mind, I'm thinking, because I'm holding the sword, which wasn't good either. I'm like, should I help him? I know he's going to hit the ground. Like I said, time slowed down because I've had all these thoughts going. Yeah, no, I'll probably get squished by him. So all I did, literally, I just like sidestepped, and he went right by me and like hit the ground. I felt so bad, but he's so huge.
Yeah.
He could take a hit. I'm sure,
And I'm like, are you okay? Are you okay? But he's like, yeah. He goes, thank God you moved, because I was. And then I could hear the snickers of the crew in the side, and they're like, it was almost like Dorothy and the Wizard of the house.
Yeah, he's the house. You just, instead of ruby slippers, he probably had like leather moccasins on or something, for
Yeah,
Doodad.
exactly.
So,
I did, yeah.
mucklucks or something like that. I don't know. So
Yeah.
that's wild. I mean, yeah, Corey and I collectively have watched this movie probably 5 or 6 times now, and and every time we watch it, we introduce it to somebody new. They're like, you want to see? My son. I jokingly bring up my son literally every interview, but my son's 11. He's into Dungeons and Dragons. He wants to watch movies that are in that theme, but not too hokey, not too. Actually, he does like the hokey ones, right, Corey? He sure.
Yeah. He hasn't a problem with hokey. No, not at all.
But something that's a little more
edgy,
family friendly, but edgy, And I said, well, we got to watch Deathstalker, and he's watched it 3 times now and absolutely loves it. And
that's great.
It's one of those things that like, and your character could be like, there are annoying sidekicks. You are not annoying at all, which is so wonderful.
That's such a fine line that I'm sure you're aware of. I'm sure Steve was aware of, but like, and that was, probably everyone's fear going into it the first time. It's like, okay, how is, Doodad going to be perfect? Doodad's perfect. And that's why, we've talked about on our review of the movie that this is like the best version of Deathstalker. And that's why it feels, of all the, iterations coming before it. And that's why it feels like a nice, fun, rated R version of He-Man. But whereas Orko could be annoying back in the shows, Doodad is not annoying. And just, I love that character so much. I never cringe. I'm always like, yeah, even, my God, did I do Dad? That could have, that could have not landed at all. But it does land. It lands every single time. It gets me every single time in a good way. It doesn't, you know what I mean? It doesn't ever take me out of the movie or anything. And I do, it's a testimony to you and to Steve's, like, pacing and world building and everything that he allows for something silly like that. But it's also your expression coming through when you say it. It's a perfect example of how to do a could be cheesy line, but it's not cheesy. It's funny. It works perfectly. Were you afraid of that? Were you afraid of that line at all?
No, not really, because that was near the end because of, like I said, it kind of was in order, but not really, if you get what I mean.
Yeah.
But we'd already done enough that it was slightly campy all the way through. Like you weren't pushing it, but you just wanted it to be there. So it wasn't to be taken seriously, but it wasn't supposed to be like, like groaner kind of thing. It was,
Right.
And by that point, you were in your zone by that point. If it was towards the end of the shooting, anyways, you guys have all gelled together and you're
yeah,
sort of rocking and rolling and everything. You nailed it. You nailed that line so hard. I love it.
there you go. Yeah, it was that was a battle with Nicholas there. Oh my God, he was fantastic too.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Necromemnon. He was
Necromemnon, yeah.
He's another great character, and one of my favorite lines in the movie is when Deathstalker comes riding in on that wraith, and he just looks up, he goes, "What the fuck is that?" And it's just like the humor. The humor is just such a perfect line of humor and action and adventure, and everyone is just nailing their parts.
Yeah, that wraith. He became a little superstar in his own.
He did.
He actually almost took me out in the first one because when I made him appear or whatever, and they were doing it, he was flying around. He kind of clipped me at one point.
Oh God.
Oh boy.
So he was kind of on his own at that point. You do your own thing, buddy.
The Wraith, he's his own actor. Now, the world is so fleshed out, and it just one of the things I love about movies like this is when I can kind of, world building is just so amazing, like in Deathstalker, where you can kind of just, go forward with things in your head and like, okay, what is that? But did Steve give you any background to do that, or did you come up with your own background, like, oh, what is in this pouch here, and like where has he been and stuff like that?
Like you say, because Steve is so good a storyteller, and I had to, like I said, I learned the lines, I did the movie.
Yeah.
So the story gave me Doodad, if you kind of get that. Like,
yeah.
I kind of visualized how I wanted to do that or what I wanted to do. And then of course, Steve would bring out, okay, well, this is the orb we want to use, or the amulet, right. Those were given. So you had your cues as to what, and then, but anything else, like, we had to learn to light fire. It went one way, to do the blasting went the other. That was like just what I came up with. But then you have to maintain that throughout, because that is the character. Like, that's what he does, right? He's good at lighting fire. Anyways,
that gives me a reason to rewatch it again for the sixth time to see the
there you
differences.
Go.
That's awesome. I love that.
And his little dance when he comes out of when he's saved by, that's where the dance came from. And then everybody wanted to do that. And right, left, wiggle, wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle.
Oh, wow. It's amazing. I still like you after you made me do this. Yeah. Terrible. So good working with you.
I didn't know it was a thing until I watched Goonies, and they said, "Oh yeah, he has a dance too." The little guy on the Goonies, but there you go.
Chunk or Sloth or
no, Chunk,
yeah.
That's that's hilarious. I didn't even think about that. I'm also complimenting Corey for the fact that he said Necromemnon
I know,
correctly.
it's a hard
I
time
literally
saying
cannot
that.
say that name. And that's I think intentional on Steve's part. Laurie, you're sitting on a gold mine, by the way, with a Doodad T-shirt that says "Did I Doodad?" with a Doodad face. I think you need to.
Can we have that, please?
Yeah, I think you need to be. Are conventions in your future as far as going places and signing autographs and stuff like that, so people can meet you?
I would consider it. I'd love to meet the people, because, like you say, it's the character, right? So yeah, I would certainly be up for that if anybody wanted me to go.
Good. Well, you heard it here, everybody, and people who run conventions, especially up in Canada or down here in California, in the United States. But I wonder, are you like a small town hero in your town? People walk around and go, "Oh, that's Doodad."
Actually, no. I don't.
Come on now, people.
I don't think my town even really knows it. Like I said,
It's
I've
not
always,
a Deathstalker town.
I don't do that sort of stuff. I'm never a self-promoter. Like, even like I said, even when I was competing on the equestrian side, I was actually competing for Canada. It was with the para sports kind of thing, but they didn't know here in town either. So I just do my stuff and whatever.
Well, we'll promote you. We'll blow you up. But I got to ask you in regards to equestrian, because that had to come in handy on set, right?
No, unfortunately, I wasn't there when the horse was there. I would have loved it.
I mean, like Steve's. That's well. Then Steve, if you're listening or watching for Deathstalker Part 2,
Yes,
I
please.
think we need to see Doodad on a horse.
That's right. Because actually, if you caught it, and I don't know if you did, when I agreed to help out, it's because a witch turned me into this.
Right.
And I don't have to be like, I would never do like Deathstalker 2. Like I watched bits of those. One, yeah, I found was like, I didn't really watch that because that was
Yeah.
crazy.
Nope.
And two, I watched bits and pieces of it, but I was kind of disappointed when they changed the character so fast right to a human. And I like where Steve kept the wizard because even Necromamnon doesn't really look like, he's,
Yeah.
was in his own way, same as the acolytes, or they
Yeah.
look different. So Doodad could get a slightly different look as they go to get him changed back or something. I don't know. It would work.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that was Deathstalker 1 is definitely problematic in a lot of different areas. But yeah, and having Doodad sort of stay with that look there, I think is a lot more fun, I mean,
Yes.
obviously I would love to see you on screen, but like as a character, I enjoyed Doodad.
Oh, definitely. Yeah,
being
Doodad.
Doodad the whole time, essentially.
Doodad is Doodad. Like
Yeah.
that's it. Exactly.
Well, I think the. Do you still ride to this day?
Not so much lately. I got older, my horse passed away,
Yeah. I mean, life,
I do
right?
it if I go out somewhere. Like my friend owns a barn, so do a little bit of that. But now I'm more driving horses, like, cart and carriage or whatever.
Oh, really? Oh, that's
Oh,
cool.
cool.
Yeah. Yeah, that's another thing. So I, like I said, I do that, and being in the north, it's a lot of motorcycles and skidooing and sort of things like that.
What's
That's what I
skidooing?
always said.
What's doing?
What's skidooing?
Snowmobiling.
Oh,
Okay.
we're both. Corey's from
Oh.
Corey's from Maryland, so maybe he got snow. But
Canadian.
so we have a good friend of ours. He's been our friend for, oh my gosh, ever since it was because of the podcast that brought us together. But Lee Germaini lives up in Canada, and he's a huge Kostanski fan, Deathstalker, you name it, et cetera, et cetera. And he's always letting us know. He's like, well, I'm freezing my butt off up here in Canada while you guys have these 85-degree temperatures in California and Oregon.
Yeah. We
Sorry.
when you mentioned about the conferences, I'm like, yeah, I would definitely go to the States for a few of them because we had so much snow and so cold that it was crazy this year.
Well, maybe we need to make that happen. Corey, maybe we need to have our podcasting after dark convention and just like
That'd be fun.
Because Laurie, we've interviewed collectively between our two shows over 100 people, from movies, television, et cetera, music. And I think we need to make that happen, Corey. Like
that'd be
at
fun.
some
I think
point,
that'd be a good time.
at the very least, have a podcasting after dark booth where guests like you can come and you need merch, you need some Doodad shirts.
I want
Laurie.
a Doodad shirt for sure.
I would happily
Yeah.
support that.
I noticed Paul was talking, and I picked up the sticker pack too.
Oh,
Oh,
cool! Those are
yes.
so awesome.
Yeah.
I love that.
I'm gonna order those before this airs so I can actually so they don't sell out. Oh wow, those are so amazing. Okay, so I have to. So out of on set, like, was there ever what was like a highlight for you, a scene that you got to shoot where you're like, oh my gosh, that was so much fun.
You know what? It was, and you guys wouldn't even notice it because it was just so fluid. But Daniel's strong too, right? And he was prepared for this role. Like he was a Deathstalker. And when we were escaping the tunnels after we were been in the crypt and we went up through the ground, that scene where we're coming out of the ground, Brisbane, Daniel said. So of course they like you said, it's all safe, it's all secure. So we were like literally underneath, and it was on a shot on a platform. So underneath, there's the stunt guy, Alex, and he's making sure everything's safe. And I got this little staircase because for me, like, Brisbane, Christine and Daniel can step up higher steps, but they made a little mini staircase for me beside and everything. And then Daniel goes to help Doodad out. Well, Daniel being Daniel, like I was like not even on the staircase, and he literally pulls me up out of the hole. And that's when I fell on. Then of course we go back and I fall on top of him, and it's like, okay.
I love it.
But like, yeah, all the guys are underneath supposedly to help me, and nope, not Daniel. Daniel like.
And on top of that, you're like wearing all this makeup and costume, so that's like a firefighter putting their gear on. You probably got like double the weight on you because of that.
Yeah. Actually, that was one of the things that quickly within the first couple of days, I never dressed, like most people dress in their dressing room or whatever. I get the mask on, I'd be prepared, but then I would dress on set because to go back and forth wearing all that heavy stuff, it was much.
Yeah.
And then you get used to the weight after a while. Does the weight of the costume come into the performance as well, I imagine?
Only if it was like a lot of going down the trails or something
Right.
like that. But they were so good, and we had like a little stool that I could sit down between takes and that sort of stuff. So yeah, it wasn't too bad at all. I'm saying that from my perspective. I hope Steve thought it was okay from his perspective.
Oh yeah, and I know the scene you're talking about, and it's such a, I mean, look, like I think you heard on our breakdown of Deathstalker, there's like one scene after another is gold in this, but obviously, Doodad is it's you and Deathstalker and Brisbane, that threesome team is such a great, there's such great camaraderie there, and it's, there has to be a sequel. To put you on the spot, is there potential that we're going to see a sequel in the near future?
I don't know, but I would hope so, because
Okay.
like you say, they were just, like you say, it was just such chemistry.
Yeah.
And it wasn't, because of the way the characters were, you didn't have to worry about, those stupid, well, I shouldn't say stupid.
It's okay.
The interplay between male or female or,
Right.
or whatever, like, because Deathstalker's old enough, Brisbane's young enough. She's just like, and Doodad's just whatever in between as the little trio of amigos, like kind of thing. And that's what it kind of became, was just like friends and all have their.
I think that's what I think that's what Corey and I have said repeatedly, is one of the aspects we love about this is it's very universal. It's not about like, there's sometimes in movies they set up this expectation. Oh, it's a guy and a girl, they got to hook up at some point, or something cliche, breaking that cliche. It's so refreshing. Spoiler, they kind of did that in the Masters of the Universe movie too, which was nice. It was like, okay, it doesn't always have to be, And again, circling back to the fact that I've got a young son who has no on his radar is zero when it comes to like liking anybody or anything like that. It's all about video games and fantasy stories, and it's nice for him to look at this, and that makes him want to watch it over and over again because there's nothing uncomfortable.
It's you guys, at the end of it, the three characters become like this little family unit.
Yeah, it's great.
I mean, I know I'm dying to see a sequel. I know Zach is too, and Lee, Germaine, everyone we talk to, all of our friends who watch this movie, everyone wants to see a sequel. I think it's perfect. It's ripe for a sequel. So Steve, come on, buddy, give it to us.
Laurie's ready. I want to see Laurie in a skidoo. Doodad in a modified skidoo, because this universe, that's the other thing too. The universe that Deathstalker takes place in, it opens up a whole world of possibilities. It's not like closed, this takes place in the 1600th century and whatever. It's like, this could be anywhere. So you could do anything you want. So I'm saying skidoo up Doodad, and let's make it happen.
Did I skidoo that?
Oh, see?
Oh.
Laura, I do have to ask, Laura, you mentioned that you're an aunt. Have you showed your nieces or nephews Deathstalker yet?
Well, my niece and nephew are a little bit older, and yeah, they've watched it, and they think it's cool that Auntie does that.
It is cool.
But they don't really, because I have a great niece. She's only 4 or 5. It doesn't really click because you don't see any part of me in Doodad. Right? Like it's a costume. You're totally covered. Like even my hands are different. So yeah, it's like it doesn't really click with her yet. So
it will one day when she gets older. She'll be like, "Wow, my aunt is so cool."
It'd be interesting if she wants to try on the mask.
Yeah, that would be amazing. Laurie, thank you so much for being on the show, and really seriously an honor. We hope to see you in person down the road at a convention appearance, at a Deathstalker 2 premiere later on. Hopefully that happens. All that good stuff. Nothing but the best of luck to you.
Thank you, Laurie.
Thank you very much. It was great working with you guys.
Thanks. We try. Hey, did I do that? No, we did that. Thanks, Laurie. See you next time. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
At dawn, we'll travel to Zodin's sanctuary. Now, pass me some of that meat.